love the idea, and knowing that the money was going to go out to either help somebody or help, well, it's kind of twofold, to help somebody and also to show God's love through that, whatever the act was. And it felt good, you know. There's a little bag being handed around, and I wanted 100 to go out and do something good with that. I got a 50, so that was cool.
Jim said that he was going to give us money to give, or to do what we were being called to do with it. And just the fact that the mission statement is loving God and loving people well, and knowing that we're going to be giving the money back to the community was awesome. And I was one of the last people to get my hands in the bag, and I only got a 20. I was hoping for more, but more in the sense of more I could do with it. So
I initially thought this is going to be easy. You know, something's going to fall into my lap here, and I'll be pretty clear cut what I'm going to do, and nothing came along. And so I had this 50, and I was like, all right, well, what do I do with this? I'm not walking around with it. I just put it on top of the radio in the kitchen. I should go get the 50. It's in the other room.
Well, my 20 and I are still together. It's interesting because as I have grown up as a young girl, really never taught to give fully, give unconditionally. So in my Christian growth, it's become more apparent. Just the grace that I've received, it's very easy for me to give without expecting anything in return now.
Nothing has come up yet. Am I doing something wrong with this? Do I have the wrong attitude? Am I not seeing opportunities where opportunities really are? But
I kind of took a leap of faith and said, you know, I'm doing this on behalf of God, so it's in God's hands where it goes.
And we just started chatting a little bit about what's going on in life, and he's working a couple of jobs, and I said, he's a young guy, I said, hey, that's awesome, you know, he's working hard and making some money, and he said, yeah, it's just I got some debt, and I said, oh, really? I said, so you're working to get out of debt? He said, yeah, it was considerable according to what he was inferring, and when I see that there's some real commitment into it, you know, and he's really committed to it, then we can sit and talk. And I decided at that point, had he called, I was going to take that 50 after we had our meeting, and I felt like we got to a certain point and say, here you go, this is your first 50 towards paying off your debt. But I still have the 50 because he hasn't called yet. So it's interesting because you know what, it's like asking forgiveness and having somebody forgive. You need two parties to really fulfill the transaction. So.
But that's where my heart was what I wanted to do with it, but hasn't happened yet. But I'm feeling that that's the call.
Yeah, so this is my lame-o update. I had, if you remember from the last video, I still hadn't given my money away, and today I still have not given the money away, but I do have a lead. Give him a call and send him an email, and so, and this was maybe a month ago, and I hadn't heard anything back from him, and that night he'd sent me an email, and literally as I was driving away, I saw it on my phone that I got that email. So I was driving away from that meeting that night, and he said that he wanted to get together, and he's a guy who's you know, had a heart. His grandfather actually just passed away. He's a good friend of mine, and he's had a tough time, I think, out here, tough time making ends meet, and needs some friends and company, and just somebody who will kind of look out for him a little bit. I would love if the opportunity were to present itself to use my $50 that I have to help him out if that's at all possible. But still, in the meantime, I do still have my $50 sitting right here, so I continue to be a complete lame-o.